So we're making something really, really, really perfect for summer and delicious. It's a no-bake dessert called, I don't know, I mean, it doesn't really have like a proper name, but I just call it my pretzel s'mores cake because, I don't know, whatever. Let's do the annoying part. I'm sorry, it's not really like a fun, easy way to do it, but we've got to line your loaf tin with plastic wrap. And because it's the only way you're really gonna get it out. You basically wanna have enough that when it's full, you can fold over and close it and kind of protect it. You wanna make sure that you're covering even these sides too on the inside. That's it, that's all. Get it done in the beginning because it just sucks, and just put it aside for after. So now we're going to make a custard. This is 2.5 cups of whipping cream. But we gotta get the eggs going. So you need 5 egg yolks. Always hit your eggs onto a flat surface. I am not a fan of the whacking it on the edge of the bowl. You're just pushing shells in, and it just kind of makes it a lot more likely that you're gonna get shells inside. I still might, but you know, whatever. When you're working with custard, it's kind of important to get everything ready beforehand. And this is a chocolate custard. We're using milk chocolate. You can use chopped chocolate or do what I'm doing and just use, you know, run-of-the-mill grocery store chocolate chips. We're also gonna need our sieve, just in case we get any lumps in our custard. That will also be how we prevent that. You wanna see the eggs basically go from this bright color to a little more pale. It's called blanchi. So let's also get the cream heating up. Really, really, really important to go on low heat. You want this to be a gentle process, and you wanna stir every now and then as well. Give this a stir. Your wooden spoon is also your best friend here. I can't stir 2 things at different speeds at the same time. Whatever. But look at that. See how that's more pale, more velvety? That's what you're looking for. I need to crush my pretzels for later. I don't need any fancy equipment. What can I use to smush this? This is one of those cooking techniques, this custard making, that I watched a lot on TV growing up, but I'd never done it myself. And now that I get it, like, I do feel like a little bit of a rock star that I know how to do that. So this is basically what we're looking for. You know, little foamy bubbles starting to happen. The cream itself is literally just like vibrating a little bit. And now we're gonna temper our eggs. So I'm gonna turn the heat off for a sec. So you're probably wondering how these egg yolks are gonna get cooked. They are gonna go on the stove, but not in the way you're thinking. If you just added this to the pot, they would just turn into a pot of sweet, creamy scrambled eggs, which is beyond disgusting, even just to imagine. So you have to temper your eggs. I'm gonna add the cream a little bit at a time to the bowl of the egg yolks while I whisk. And remember, our egg yolks have been coated with the sugar, so the molecules are nicely insulated. And now I'm gonna slowly add the cream while whisking. So it's like you're really gently cooking the eggs, even just by introducing the hot cream without shocking them and making them seize up and curdle. Now that everything has been tempered, we're going back on the stove, and we're gonna cook it really, really slowly. Once again on low heat, low flame. And with our wooden spoon, you have to stir the entire time. So for the next 6-7 minutes, don't move. Stay here and stir. You wanna make sure that you are getting every little corner of the pot. So this is what we're looking for. This is called cuit à la nappe. And what that means is it's kind of cooked to the appearance of a tablecloth, a napkin. You see that? It coats the spoon. You draw a line with your finger. It burns a little bit, but you see how it doesn't collapse in? That's how you know it's cooked. Look at how thick and beautiful that is. So right away, I'm gonna pour this through a sieve into my bowl of chocolate. Through the magic of TV, I already have one ready. Look at this. It is just velvety and beautiful and magical. One thing though, if you gave the custard more than 6 hours to set up in the fridge, which is totally fine, nothing will happen, just make sure you set it on your counter at room temperature for maybe an hour just to soften a little bit, because you just want it to be spreadable when you're doing all your layers. Let's start assembling. So the first layer that goes in here is the chocolate. We're gonna go about half a cup. And the trick to making sure that it's, you know, even more spreadable is to put like dollops in different spots and then connect the dots literally. My handy dandy offset spatula really just allows you to get in there and spread. The main thing is you want to make sure that every part of the graham is touching some of the custard, because this is what's going to help it soften in the fridge overnight. So what happens is the chocolate softens the graham crackers overnight in the fridge and kind of takes them from cracker to cake-like consistency. If you, for whatever reason, don't have graham crackers, you don't feel like buying them, whatever, no judgment, I wouldn't be mad at all if you used salted saltine crackers, and then you can also skip the pretzel layer because it would be just too salty, because you'd have that little bit of salt on top of the crackers. They will also soften with the chocolate pudding business, and everybody's happy. And just still do the marshmallows though, that's awesome. So now we've got the last little bit of chocolate, we have our last layer of graham on top, and I just gotta coat these bad boys with chocolate. So no baking, but an amazing dessert. And you learn a wicked classic cooking technique, which is making an anglaise. If you want, when you're serving this, you can, once it's cold and everything, you can top it with whipped cream. If you're feeling fancy, ooh, I just thought of this, I would even mix a little bit of espresso powder in the whipped cream, because coffee with all this, that little hint of coffee with all this sweetness and chocolate, oh my God, that would be amazing. That's it. So now, this overhang that we took the time to create helps us to wrap it. And we put it in the fridge. Tomorrow, dessert will be ready. So because we painstakingly wrapped this guy in plastic, it's really, really easy to invert. All you have to do, unwrap, and then you go like this with your platter. You put it like that, and you hold the edges carefully, and you flip. Now I'm gonna get chocolate on my counter, but so it goes. Not too bad actually. And then you just lift this off, take the plastic all off, and you have the most beautiful, well, you know what? I won't say the most beautiful dessert. Shall I slice and show you guys what it looks like? So one note, you see how you have all like the little wrinkly parts from the plastic wrap? That's totally fine. That's why you would put the whipped cream or something on top, because it just kind of covers it and puts a little Band-Aid over top. But use a serrated knife, or any sharp knife really. Chef's knife or serrated, I think. And take your slice out. Also, you can chill your plate to make sure that it's like not gonna melt at the bottom, but people are just gonna go like this with their forks and just scoop it up. It's so good. Gotta get a bite with everything. A little pretzel, a little marshmallow. Come on. This is amazing. The squishy texture of the marshmallows in here is, oh, I'm happy. Okay, bye, I gotta go eat.